We also got a very special guest for you. Got Coach Buckles.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The long wait is over. Tomorrow begins week 0 of college football, baby. All right. We're back in business. It's been a long wait. It's been a very long wait for everybody here who's waited with us during the very tumultuous dead period that is between February and September. It's over. It's done. Tomorrow begins week 0 of college football. All right. We're going to jump straight into it. All right. We're going to jump straight into it. Tomorrow in Dublin, whatever, Germany, we got number 10, Florida State, playing Georgia Tech. Now, on paper, unranked Georgia Tech, number 10, Florida State, coming off of a crazy year last year. You think, Florida State's probably going to handle business. They're going to walk into Dublin. They're going to do their thing. They're going to, they're going to take care of business. But this Georgia Tech team is sneaky, all right? This team is sneaky. Now, as a Louisville representative, all right, we played them week 1 last year, and that was a scary one. I can't even lie. That was a scary one. I thought, Jawar Jordan did it to the crib. We took care of business. But last year, Georgia Tech finished 6-6, but they finished strong. They got a junior quarterback, Haynes King, who also finished very strong. He threw for 22,842 yards. 27 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. They also have a junior running back who they're really excited about, Jamal Haynes, who ran for 1,007 touchdowns. The defense could use work, but there's also a stat. It's called EPA, expected points added. It measures the down, distance, field position, time, and score. And now Georgia Tech was ranked number 23 last year, and Florida State was number 7 heading into the ACC title game when they lost Jordan Travis when he broke his leg. That was just terrible. You know what I mean? But Georgia Tech's defense also finished 104th. So something to keep in mind there. Florida State. Now, they got a new quarterback in town. They got the seasoned veteran DJ Uiagalelei. I hope I pronounced that right. If I butchered it, I'm sorry, DJ. But
Bro, been everywhere, ain't he?
He has been. He started at, I couldn't tell you for the life of me. He went to Oregon State, and then he was at Clemson. He was at Clemson for 2 years. Then he went to Oregon State last year, and he's probably going to finish his career in Florida State. So, I wasn't very high on him. I remember watching Clemson play Georgia, I believe, in 2021. If that's correct, 2020, 2020. I don't know which year it was, but I think it was his freshman or sophomore year, and he didn't look great. But he's a senior now. He's got some time under his belt, and he threw for 2,638, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So a good game to start off. If you're a college football fan, I think you know a little bit more about Georgia Tech. It's a sneaky game. That's one thing that college football and the NFL has in common, which is the craziness of week 1. You got new coaches, you got young players, you got a whole lot of players moving around, transfer portal, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on in week 1. In week 0, apologize. So there's a lot to expect here. I still have Florida State probably comfortably, maybe not comfortably. It's going to be a good game for a while. I think Florida State will ultimately take it at the end, but you could see an upset here. You could see Georgia Tech surprising the nation and getting a win over number 10 Florida State in week 0. You know what I mean? The first game of the season, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we love to hear.
Especially it being an early game, as you said.
Early game, early season. There's anything to expect. Now, if your team gets upset, if you're on the good or the bad side of an upset, if you're on the bad side, don't worry. All right, you got time. Your team's got time to develop. If you're on the good side of an upset, or you're on the good side, you're feeling real good about your team 1, 2, 3 weeks into the season, don't punch your college football playoff tickets yet because it's a whole lot of season. There's a whole lot of football to play. So like I said, tomorrow you got Florida State and Georgia Tech. That's the one I really just dived in on because it's tomorrow. And then Thursday, August 29th, you got some smaller games. You got Lindenwood at Kansas, Murray State at Missouri, Southern Utah at Utah, and then WCU at NC State. A lot of those games, the bigger schools, the home field advantage is really going to kill those smaller teams. And then the next day, Friday, August 30th, you got Temple at Oklahoma. Again, not really anything to really, Oklahoma's probably going to take care of business. Saturday, August 31st. This is the day. This is the day where things really get active. Now, I do have for you all the list of games here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Like I said, I should have pulled this up before I did that. But anyway, you got these games going on. This is the beginning of the slate, not anything crazy. But then you get to Saturday. Then you get to Saturday at noon. You got Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit and Reese Davis and Desmond Howard. Hopefully Pat McAfee if he still signs with ESPN. You got them all.
Bro, you're telling me you're not worried about Lindenwood in Kansas?
I don't know who Lindenwood is. And Kansas played pretty good last year. They were a very surprising team. Kansas is notoriously known for being ass at football and being really good at basketball. But they got their football program really kicked into gear after last season. Like I said, Utah is a good team. Missouri is a killer team. They're going to be ranked within 3 weeks. I'm calling it now. NC State is also a scary team. We almost lost to them last year. I think they finished ranked. I'm not sure. They were just right out of the conversation. But Saturday, like I said, the big noon games, the games that we all want to see. Number 14, Clemson going into number 1, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a game. You got Drew Beck with Georgia, who's coming off of a stellar year. He's ranked really high in college football. The game, I don't know. I don't know much about Drew Beck, but I know a lot about Georgia, and they're a damn good team. You still got Kirby Smart out there calling plays. If you got him calling plays, you're looking pretty good. So, like I said, it's week 0. It's week 0. Anything can happen. So we could have an upset here. An upset. It's 14-1. That's an upset. But you're looking at a lot of other things. So you got Penn State, number 8, Penn State going into West Virginia. That's a good game. West Virginia is a good team. And then you get a little boring here. Illinois, these are layups for these teams. You could still see upsets, like I said, but Colorado State at number 4, Texas. Come on now. You know what I mean? Akron at number 2. You know what I mean? But Miami against Florida, number 19, Miami. I've heard a lot of hype about this Miami team.
Let's go Miami.
What's that?
Let's go Miami.
Yeah, we got a Miami fan. I was at the end of this going to get everybody. We're going to get everybody to – nope, come on now. I got to pick a team. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. That's how I'm going to leave. We're going to all pick our teams now at week 0, pick teams to follow, and we're going to follow them as we go. But like I said, number 19, Miami, they're a very hyped team going into this year. We did get the win over them. We did get the win last year. Louisville got a big win against Miami. Their quarterback, Tyler Shogg, transferred to Louisville and will be our starting quarterback going into this season. So that'll be interesting to watch. You got Miami going into the swamp in Florida. So that's gonna be a game to watch for sure. And then you get some more. These are all pretty run of the mill. Always overhyped Notre Dame. They somehow every year they get so hyped up. They get so Notre Dame, this Notre Dame, that. And then they come into Louisville and they take the L. You know what I mean? So, but somehow, some way, they always find their way into the top 10 going in every year. So they get this is like Notre Dame. We gave you the 7th rank, but you got to show up week 0 against number 20 Texas A&M in Texas A&M. So that's going to be a damn good game to watch. That's in the later slate of games at 7:30. Moving on, Fresno State, Michigan. You know what I mean? New head coach with Michigan, new quarterback, new running back, new receiver. That's a very new team. That's why they just won the chip and they're ranked 9th. That kind of tells you how much they lost. but they're still Michigan. So, you know, I obviously have them winning that game. Oregon, there's no way Oregon's not ranked. So I don't know where they're at the moment. They gotta be top 10. They're always loaded. You know what I mean? Mexico, Arizona's a sneaky team at the moment as well. They got a good quarterback over there. They should handle business. And then you got a brand new USC team leaving the Caleb Williams era. Now, that team probably would not have been that good without Caleb Williams, as we saw. You know, they really fell off towards the end of the year because defense got exposed. They really weren't that good. And LSU, I honestly know absolutely nothing about LSU, but they're ranked 13th. So that's a good game at 7:30.
LSU is going to skull fuck USC.
All right. So we wonder who Tristan Williams is going to pick.
I'm just being honest.
And then to finish the slate, this is September 2nd. Yeah, this is Monday. So this would technically be week 1. Florida State's got 2, those are those games where you're playing teams that aren't bad, but they have something to prove. And they prove something by playing well against a good team. So Boston College, that's still a pretty run-of-the-mill ACC team, and they're also playing in Florida State, which is, I don't expect much from Boston College. I also new quarterback in Florida State. Like I said, DJ, can he get it done? Is he going to do what Florida State thought he was going to do? We shall see. I'm going to leave week 2 for week 2. As you can see, you got a banger looking at us right there, Texas, Michigan. We're going to talk about that next week. So that's the slate of games coming up this week. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. You might not got the big banger blockbuster games right off the bat, but soon to come, there will be it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You got the last week of preseason coming up tomorrow. NFL starts when I don't know if it's next week or the week after. You got September 5th. Don't even get me started. I got to go get my other jersey to talk about that game. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But anywho, that will do it for the schedules. My fellow panels, my fellow hosts.
Hold on before you leave, Coach.
No, I'm not leaving yet. I'm not leaving just yet.
Yeah, I got a couple questions before you get up out of here. Now, I don't know what you're doing next, but I had a question with all those games. Now, not all those games you got in front of you right there on that big panel.
I can pull them back up.
Which team on that panel right there do you think has the best chance to upset the team that they're playing?
That's a great question, Tristan. I'm glad you asked me that.
Alabama, obviously.
I'm glad you asked me that. We're gonna pull this back up. So, week 0, if I'm looking at all these games, I honestly like Georgia Tech against Florida State. I think this quarterback is really getting into his groove. They got a good running back. If they can have that offensive explosiveness that they did at the end of last season, it'll maybe make up for the defense that isn't that good. Also, Florida State might come out the gate kind of lackluster, new.
Little flat.
They got a whole lot new stuff going on there in Florida State. So I think that's the most intriguing game. I think anything can really happen there. Looking at the rest of these, I think Georgia will take care of business against Clemson, but Clemson is always they're always good. They're always good enough to beat you. You know what I mean? No matter who they're playing, they might lose, but we shall see. But if I had to choose, Florida is always underwhelming. They're an SEC team. They're very, they got those years with Tim Tebow and all those,
Tebow.
Aaron Hernandez. I ain't gonna go there, but that's always a very underwhelming team. They never do what they're supposed to do. They got the swamp just sold out every week, but they underperform. So I need to look more into that Florida team. I do think Miami is also a little bit overhyped, but I could be wrong. We need to see it, I need to see it play out. That's a game to watch. That's a tough one. I think there's a few. I honestly believe this is where you'll see the most upsets in 1 week. But again, it's college football, so it's it's just so crazy that it could happen any week to any team. But if I had to pick one here, Tristan, it's got to be.
I want everybody here on the panel to pick an upset this week.
Yeah,
If we
let's
come
do
back
it.
Monday.
Let's do it. That's what I'm talking about.
Those games aren't till next weekend.
No, you got either way, you got this game. This is technically like moving into week 1. This is week 0, right? Week 0 is always different. You got one game to start everything off, and then you got games on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So it's just everything's
So that doesn't start till next Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean, week 0?
Yeah, most of those games don't start till next Thursday. There's one game tomorrow.
There's one game tomorrow. Right. You got games Thursday. You got games Friday. So all these games are still technically week 0. So like when you get into week 1, it says week 2, but it's week 1. That's when you see September 7th. That's a Saturday. That's when you see all these games
Texas,
on this.
Michigan off for it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I don't even want to look into these too much because I want to be able to, you know what I mean? But all these games are on Saturday. That's when you get into the regular. You get into the regular flow of college football with every game being on Saturday. But this week 0 is always a little bit different. But yeah, so to answer your question, if I had to pick any of them, man, that's tough.
I don't know why that Texas A&M Notre Dame one staring me in my face.
It is. I'd say if I had a top 3, so I'll pick one, but I'm gonna pick 2 others. Number 3 is gonna be A&M and Notre Dame. No, number 2. Number 3 is gonna be Miami. Is gonna be Florida over Miami because that's just there's so much going on with those 2 schools. I'm gonna pick Florida over Miami in my 3rd upset or my number 3 upset. Number 2, I got A&M over Notre Dame. That's just Notre Dame. I never believe in Notre Dame. I can't wait till we play them this year. We're gonna knock them out the park once again. But I'm going Georgia Tech over Florida State, man. I really think Haynes King can get it done. Like I said, I think if they can roll clean out of what they did last year and do what they were doing, I think they can beat Florida State. Florida State's kind of like they're just a question mark right now with that quarterback position. So I don't know. I'm picking Georgia Tech over Florida State. That's my upset of the week. What y'all got?
I think, not to take it away, but
go ahead.
As you said, I don't know. I kind of that A&M and that whatchamacallit game is kind of staring me in my face. I don't know why. As you say, Notre Dame kind of underwhelms every year. They're always hyped up as this top 4 team, going to make the national championship, all this other shit, and they always underwhelm. So maybe they take a step back or something, and then Texas A&M catches some sleeping. I'm not going to say I'm some fucking college football guru over here. I couldn't even probably name you 3 fucking players. I'm just saying. I'm just going off fucking, feeling here. That WKU over number 5 Alabama is really staring me in my face. I really feel like WKU, whatever that university is, really has a chance in that game. Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky fans, if you're watching this right now, you have a chance.
It's not going to happen.
Any man can be beat. And I'm telling you, that's going to happen Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m.
All right. I like it. Bama's still
the last one.
Can we go down a little bit? Scroll down or something?
Yeah.
I got one more. We got a Boston College guy that just typed in the chat. I'm taking Boston College over Florida State on Monday, September 2nd. And I'm calling it a day.
Shout out Kendrick. Let's get him some free merch, man. You know what I mean? Y'all been rocking with us for a while. We're gonna get Kendrick.
Yes, sir.
Been saying that.
Yeah, we got the merch little update here soon after Coach Buckles gets done with his
Scroll up.
Sir.
I ain't seeing shit.
You just gotta be optimistic, man.
I got 2.
All right, so Tristan, you got Western Kentucky over Bama.
All right, not seriously, but
Dude,
you know what? Fuck it, I'll take it.
Bama is gonna blow the doors off of Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Western Kentucky might as well not even show up. They'd probably score more if they didn't show up to the field.
Yeah. Bama's still got Jalen Milroe. I think Barry Bonds at receiver that's still a really good team, dude.
Sheesh.
All right.
Yeah, Alabama's always
My
gonna be
upset
good,
of the
too.
week
go ahead.
is go up, go up, go up. There it is. Kansas and
Linderwood.
Lindenwood. Yeah. Give me Lindenwood. Lindenwood.
They don't even have a fucking logo, yo.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna write these down after once I
I'm
say
taking them. They're gonna win.
I also like West Virginia over Penn State.
That's what I was looking at.
West Virginia's a good team.
I think Temple could be Oklahoma too.
Mm.
I mean, I obviously don't know what I'm talking about here. This is out of line.
I mean,
All right,
go with your gut,
I'm
man.
going
Go with
one
your gut.
upset. I'm going West Virginia over Penn State.
West Virginia over Penn State. All right.
The one I really want is Linderwood over Kansas.
Is that your final decision?
Yeah.
Hey, hit that joint on the sport books.
Yeah.
No.
You would make some money, brother. I'll tell you that. And then K, you got Lindenwood over Kansas.
Is that Linden or Linder?
Ligma.
Lindenwood.
God.
Yeah, I got them. They win it.
All right, and then T, you had what was that? You had the A&M.
Yeah, I'll take the A&M over Notre Dame.
See, and what's crazy about A&M is they're kind of in that same category as Notre Dame. They're always really hyped up at the beginning of years in the SEC, and then they get spanked by Bama and spanked by Georgia. And, I really know nothing about that team. There could be some A&M fans watching this telling me to shut the fuck up. But I don't know. A&M doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I think both of those teams are kind of – I don't know. But go ahead. You got A&M over Notre Dame.
I'm saying it's open week jitters.
Open week jitters.
They're going to come out flat. And they're
So
going to
B's
get
got
upset.
West Virginia over Penn State. K's got Lindenwood over Kansas. And I've got Georgia Tech over Florida State. All right. That's a hell of a lineup, brothers. That is a hell of a lineup. Yeah. And to conclude the college football segment, boys, this is a big decision here. Okay, you're gonna have to get back for this one, brother, because this is where we pick a school. I mean, I don't gotta pick no school, but
I think I'm going to cop out answer here.
what's that?
I think I'm going to have a cop out answer.
Cop out. What's that?
Not really cop out, but I was going to go with Virginia Tech, not to cut you off, but I don't think I'm going to go for them.
So who will be your team, Tristan Williams?
Oh, I thought you had more to say.
No. We're at that point.
I wish I had like the caps. I could
Yeah,
commit.
that'd be
to
so
different
funny. We
things.
commit. That'd be so fucking good.
That would be
But
fun.
I think I'm gonna, I like this team as a child, and I think I'm gonna reside right back with them. Gonna go right back to the Bayou, LSU.
LSU. You got a big game week 0, brother. That's a game you should watch. LSU, USC.
Stick it to the Bayou.
LSU. You gotta get a jersey or something. You gotta get a fuck. You gotta.
I used to have one for real.
Hell yeah! All right, B, what you got? Who's your team?
Shit, we're gonna rep the home state, the University of Maryland.
University of Maryland. I don't know. I guess they don't play week 0. There's a lot of teams that don't.
I guess they don't play at all. I didn't see them at all.
We don't play week 0. But I mean, it is what it is. All right, so Maryland, LSU. Okay, what you got?
Miami, in honor of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
K will be taking his talents to South Beach.
What is it? Is it like this?
Yeah. You gotta figure that out. You gotta
Put 'em
figure
up.
that out. Hey, but don't. You best connect that because then you throwing up a L.
Oh, they connected. Trust.
Hey, all right.
You see it.
All right.
And turn that into Tyus O'Neil.
All right, so we each got a team. I almost want to look up real quick who y'all play week 1.
I can tell you right here. Hold on. Who you want?
Y'all got USC.
Yeah, we do got USC.
Maryland. I know obviously Miami plays. I just had it up, dude. Miami. Who the hell does Miami play? Florida. Yeah, y'all go into the swamp and play Florida. That's a good game you should watch. Maryland
I plan on watching.
Maryland week 1 has UConn on the 31st of August. So that's not.
I don't even. Who the fuck is you? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they just
Come
want.
on.
Yeah, they're not. They're another one of those they're like Kansas, where their football team sucks and their basketball team is fucking killer back to back.
Hopefully that makes Maryland 1-0.
It probably should. I would hope y'all win that game, and then you got Michigan State, who I don't know much about. You know, y'all you play USC October. Oh my good lord, you play USC, Oregon, and Penn State. Those are your big games. Y'all are in the Big Ten, so the Big Ten's a pretty good conference. So Indiana's a good team. You got some good games there.
But Maryland's the shit can out of the Big Ten.
They used to be in the ACC. They used to be with us in the ACC, but y'all did move to the Big Ten, but which doesn't make sense. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it from the coach. I will see you all next Monday on the next.
We appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. See you next week, man.
Hold on. We might as well.
Shout out, Coach.